I love Eve. I was worried when she got married and moved overseas that she would be like Madonna when she married Guy Ritchie, and all of a sudden she has a proper British accent. But no, Evie is still that girl from Philly. She's still that pitbull in a skirt, and you see that in his Tiny Desk performance. First of all, shout out to NPR Music and whoever's booking these Tiny Desks. They are fantastic. It was fantastic last year. They're always fantastic, but fantastic. It was great last year. It was fantastic during Black Music Month. And in fact, fantastic again during Black Music Month. Shout out to Tiny Desk and their bookers. You guys deserve a raise. But let's get back to Eve. She looks great. She sounds great. When you hear her rhyme, I was like, oh, she has an MC Light type flow. Like I never really recognized that before. She looked happy. Go watch that performance. She looks so happy. She looks so happy. I love seeing artists. There's joy. It's like when you watch the Michael movie, especially like early Michael Jackson, like off the wall Michael Jackson, when you hear him sing, there's a joy in his vocal. When you watch Eve rhyme and she's just flowing, because you kind of wonder, it's like, she still performs here and there, but man, she's flowing so good. She's having a good time. I think she likes being with the fans. I think she appreciates her legacy. And speaking of her legacy, I've always said that Eve is probably, I'm not gonna say she's the most underrated female rap artist, because you have like Bahamadia, Jean Grey. You have a lot of female rap artists who never really got their due. But as far as like popular female rap artists, Eve is probably the most underrated. Because I know we always talk about like MC Lyte, Queen Latifah, Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott, but it's hard not to have Eve in that top 10. And the most beautiful thing I love about Eve from day one is her evolution. The thing that I get frustrated with young female rap artists today is you don't see much of a revolution. Megan Thee Stallion in 2000 and even Cardi in 2000, no, Megan Thee Stallion in 2020 and Cardi in 2020 is almost kind of the same 6 years later. You can't say that with Eve. When Eve first popped up as the first lady of Ruff Ryders, because she was signed to Dr. Dre's Aftermath label, that didn't work out. She found her way to Aftermath, and she was the first lady of Ruff Ryders. And she was fantastic. And the one thing, go find this interview she did with Angie Martinez, because Angie Martinez asked her about that time period, and Eve said it was like a boot camp, because they, it's like there was ciphers in the studio, there's ciphers in the street, and she was around all these dudes. She was around DMX, the Locks. But the thing about Eve, one, they let her be herself. They, whatever song she wanted to do, whatever thing she wanted to get out into the public, they respected that, but they wanted her to be great. And when she said it was a boot camp, it was true. Like, they want her to be a fierce lyricist. They want her to be a fierce rhymer. They want to have great stage premise. I miss the days of non-stand, non-algorithm eras where you were expected to be great. Michael Jackson he was initially great vocally as a kid, but the guy that we get by the time we get to the Bad Tour, that was just years of just trial and error, Joe on him, Berry Gordy on him wanting to be great. And I think the same thing with Eve. Like, if you're around DMX and the Locks, and then you got the owners of the Ruff Ryders and the producers of the Ruff Ryders, you got Swizz Beatz, and everybody's just fighting and battling to be great, you can't help but just soak that stuff up. Janet Jackson wouldn't be as great as she is if she didn't watch her brothers first with the Jacksons and the Jackson 5, and then watch her brother Michael just blow up. And I think the thing about the stan culture today is stan culture just wants you to be the same. They want you to kind of deliver just give me stuff I like, give me a vibe, but they don't want them to excel. And that's so sad. Like, if we had stan culture back in the 90s, OutKast would have never made it to Speaker Box the Love Below. They never would have made the Bombs Over Baghdad. They still probably would have been Southern Catalytic OutKast, which was great, but at the same time, they wouldn't have grown. Salt-N-Pepa, Salt-N-Pepa, when they had Push It, they were great. But by the time we got to like What a Man with In Vogue and Shoot, they had evolved. And the thing about Eve that I love so much, she evolved. First, she was the pitbull in the skirt, so she had like Out a Man. Like she was a pitbull in the skirt. She had the blonde cut, former stripper, so she was doing that thing. By the time we get to the second album, she's doing like Let Me Blow Your Mind with Dr. Dre and Gwen Stefani, Who's That Girl. By the time we get to the third album, we get like Satisfaction, which I love Satisfaction. Like, and her style of dress changed. Where Eve was, when you see Eve today, go back to where she was when she first popped up with the short blonde cut. She started evolving after that album. Of all the female rappers that I've seen over the decades, my favorite fashionista is Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill, the Miseducation era Lauryn Hill was fantastic. Not sure what she's doing now. But that Miseducation Lauryn Hill, that Fuji's Lauryn Hill, because you saw the evolution of Lauryn when she first popped up with nappy dreads, and she was in the jeans and the Timbs, and then we get to like X Factor, it's just very chic. Eve was the same way. Like, Eve evolved from the pitbull and the skirt, and by the time we get to Satisfaction, by the time we get to her TV show, she was a fashionista. Young ladies, man, y'all don't have to twerk all the time. Y'all don't have to wear, I don't have to see the top, the lower part of your booty and stuff like that. I don't need to see all that. Yeah, when you're young, if you do, you're gonna look at it. But no, man, there was nothing sexier than just seeing Eve and her style, how she handled herself and how she talked, especially where she came from. She's from Philly. She's from Philly. She was a stripper. She lived that life, but the evolution of her. Just look at this. She is so beautiful. Her rhyme skills is beautiful. Oh, I love Eve so much. It hurts. But I see these young ladies today, man. Follow Eve. So what is your favorite Eve song? What did you think about the Tiny Desk performance? And do you think Eve is the most underrated female rapper of all time? But like I said, I mentioned Bahamadia and Jean Grey. There was a bunch of others that didn't get their shine. But who do you think is actually the most underrated female rapper of all time?